All right, Shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Shem, Dash, a double honors to the apostles and others at Great Millstone. Um, I'll make this short because, I pretty much made the point, and there's other videos you can watch, uh, concerning the Masoretic text. Um, there's a deeper implication behind it when it comes to Esau. He wants to completely eradicate our understanding. He wants to completely eradicate the truth. I say it like that. From being out there in existence. So they've done what they have done for the longest. Starting with those Masoretes during the sixth century A.D., leading all the way up into the ninth century A.D., and even up until present time. Starting with the Balfour Declaration, the British Mandate. All these are implications to make a move on our inheritance, which our inheritance is the kingdom of heaven, which is the earth being established in righteousness. But this is for all you haters out there who pretty much say that the Bible has all these flaws and all this, that, and the third. Well, the Lord has revealed them unto us. We have what we need. We have what we need, and the Lord has exposed the so-called white man, the devil, these Edomites. All right, I had an Edomite on there explaining that those Jewish Khazarian Amalekites pretty much going off, saying that just going into certain words that they deliberately went into and changed, like Gentile, which is a big one. But he goes off. He doesn't understand. If you watch that whole video, which I don't have the link in the description, but he goes off, wholeheartedly and says Adam is a white man. But that's beside the point. Edom, they always put a little lie. They put lies, around the truth. But and that's just how they are. They're the seed of the devil, the seed of the wicked. But it just goes out to those who say, the Bible is tampered, and they don't really, for the most part, they don't know what they're talking about because they don't go depth into studying. We know you have to go deep. You have to. It takes hours. It takes time to go into a lot of words and cross-reference words and do all type of things to get an understanding of the scriptures. And for the most part, the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with our apostles, and that's why. That's why we always say double honors, because our hats are off to them, and they get the utmost respect for the labor they have done to pretty much bring us into the light even more, man. And the scripture said this is the condemnation of the world, that the light has entered into the world. Lord willing, go ahead and get that. It's like, keyboard messed up. So I'm gonna read this first, and I'm gonna go into the condemnation of this world. Bear with me, so I don't want to pop up. Did I spell it wrong? All right, but we'll deal with this one first. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved, all right, unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." And that, hey, for the most part, we have the apostles as an example. At times we go into the scriptures, we try to wing it, but it takes a lot. It takes what it says, Shalaki, a workman that needed not to be ashamed. So a lot of people wing it. I'm guilty of that too. But for basically for being pretty much ignorant to the fact that you're not supposed to wing it. But a lot of people that say that the Bible has a lot of imperfections, they wing it. They heard it, and it just built up to their arsenal of pretty much just continue having reasons to continue not to believe in the scriptures. But for the most part, the Lord has established the righteous men to, to seek through all the lies. And the main lie is, and the reason why they changed the scriptures the way they did is because they have to uphold the lie. They have to keep the lie going. And like I said, it's they make an insurrection of us. They're warring against us, and this is a spiritual warfare as far as the truth is concerned. The Bible, the scriptures, we have to defend the gospel, and this is part of it. So it says, 1 Timothy 2:15, study to show ourselves approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed. So we're not ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, we're not ashamed because we've put in the work. We've researched. We know the ins and outs. We know where the so-called white man, who is the devil, we know where the imperfections lie, and they're not imperfect. They deliberately put in certain words so people can catch you up, like Edomite. And when you go into that word, when you look that word up, in the root word to that word, it's Arumia or Arawumia, all right, which means Syrian, if I'm saying the Hebrew word. And within the context of that scripture, abhor meaning not to set aside as abominable, and the reason for that, which I'm not going to go into, but the reason why it says abhor, not a Syrian, we're not going to deal with the Edomite because that was purposely placed there to confuse people. But the reason why it says that is because we used to, for example, Abraham told his son Isaac to find a woman, Salakia, of his nativity, meaning of his father's or his mother's house, one of the two. But he had to go back to to Abraham's native land, where his brethren were. All right, and they were Syrians. They were Arum. All right. So, in a sense, where you marry women from your kinsmen, which Abraham's kinsmen were Syrians, and that's why you didn't abhor them. But Esau, Edom, when you deal with Isaac and Jacob, Jacob and Isaac, Jacob and Esau. Jacob, sought out, his, his kinsmen, pretty much. All right, and I believe they were Syrian. All right, or Rum. All right, but Esau, he did the opposite. He despised, his kinsmen, and he dealt with Hamites. All right, and he dealt with Ishmaelites, I believe. He dealt with all the other nations except for his kinsmen, who he's supposed to go back to, his father's native land and marry, his kinsmen. All right, but just going, just hitting these points because I don't want to be long, and I know it's going to be long. I know it's going to be at least 20 minutes. The next scripture I'm gonna get is let me see. And going back to the point, light has come into the world. Let's go John 3:19. All right, we go John 3:19 because the truth condemns the world, man. The truth condemns this world. All right, and all those adversaries that come against the truth. All right, because the truth is that we are the children of the Most High, and Esau is he's been making insurrection against us in every which way he can, not just in the physical realm, but spiritually when it comes to the scriptures. He tried to change the words, but the Lord ain't gonna consume us, man. The scriptures say our face shall not wax pale, and that's talking about the light, the understanding, because wisdom causes a man's face to shine, as the scriptures say. And I know I'm quoting a lot, only because of the time. It says John 3:19, and this is the condemnation that is come into the world, and men are slack. Oh yeah, come. It says, and this is the condemnation that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. All right, and you got people that hate the light. All right, hate the truth. Okay, and part of that darkness is these evil lies that's being spread. You know, the ideals that people have. You know, like they changed the word Gentile, tried to turn it into something that has absolutely nothing to do with that. You know, and they swapped out Gentile for kinsman. You know, stranger for kinsman. You know, which are our kinsmen have become strangers, but for the most part, the elect have what we need, and I'm gonna get that in Romans 11:7, and I tell you right off the bat. It's a lot of the keyboard is messed up, so I gotta do it via Bluetooth keyboard. Um, It says Romans 11:7, what then Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So for those that don't have the understanding of the word Edomite in that context, in I believe it's Deuteronomy 23. I'm sorry, probably Deuteronomy 7. I think it's Deuteronomy 23. But people that don't have that understanding, man, it's not given to them. It's given to the elect. Because we're the ones that's going to rightly divide the truth. And like I made mention of the elders, they have the Lord has pretty much put the elders here to give us this truth, man. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse for somebody for a guy to say, oh, it's too many imperfections. I don't want to deal with that. Is in regards to the Bible. The Lord has put his men here to labor and to make things clear. All right, Isaiah 30:20, it says, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. All right, so, hey, we're right before you, Lord, what do we be at a number? But, it's plain as day. It's evident who's making it clear, who's breaking down the words the right way, So, yeah, here we go. That goes back to John 3:19. It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. So a lot of people don't want their deeds to be reproved. All right, a lot of people use excuses to keep doing what the hell they want to. So they use the excuses of the Bible not, being tampered with, not to believe in the Bible. But it's more to it. If you go in depth in the study, which they don't, and that's what's odd. That's what's crazy about it. And it goes for you Christians too. When things are explained the right way, you completely ignore them. But you have to labor to go to get most of the understanding in Scripture, and the Spirit of the Lord has to be dealing with you. It says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, and that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. So there you go, man. It's a perfect balance. But let me see. If anything else doesn't come to mind, I'll go ahead and get Psalms, and this for Esau. This is for Esau, man. Psalms, do 59th verse. You know what? I'll do Corinthians first, because the scriptures say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through, I'll read it. I'll just read it. 2 Corinthians. Slide. All right, so 2 Corinthians 10:4 says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds. And part of that strongholds are these words that they deliberately, purposely put in there to confuse people, starting with these Jewish, Amalekite, Khazarian, Edomites, All right? It says, it was really because they didn't want people to understand who they are. They don't want the world to know that they're Edom according to the Bible, that they're the sons of the wicked. And it's evident, it's obvious who the sons of the wicked, because they're destroying the whole earth. And they're confusing people. They put more confusion. They're allowing a lot of perverse things to go on in the earth. These are the leaders of the world we're talking about here. It says casting down imaginations. And one of those imaginations is what? Abhor not the Edomite, which that word is Syrian. All right? abhor not Assyria. All right, don't set aside as abominable Assyria, for the simple fact that you have in the ancient world we had to deal with them. All right, as far as marriage is concerned, as far as training is concerned, you know, it says casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh. All right, so and that's what we do. Okay, we don't have to, get guns and then go meet these Jewish Khazari and Edomites at their doorstep. That's absurd. We don't have to do that. The Lord gave us His Spirit, and the Scripture says, "His Spirit of His mouth shall consume them." Man, I think it's in Lamentations. I'm not sure. Hopefully, it's short. Here we go. Taking it back to the mouse. This is Second Thessalonians. Hey, 2 Thessalonians 2:7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work." All right. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Now, and the apostles came out with a video. Did the Israelites know that the Romans were Edomites, or did they know who the Edomites were? Of course they did. I believe. I haven't watched the video, but they knew who the mystery of iniquity were. All right. And it says, Slaki, it says, and they already been doing their works. They already been doing the works of evil. All right. Even from the time of the Greeks and Romans up until the time of these Jewish, Amalekite, Khazari, and Edomites came into play with the Masoretic text, or the Masoretes deliberately misplacing words to deceive people. All right. Even up until now. Okay, they don't want the people on the earth to know who they are, because that means people get to point them out. People, they're like a vagabond, like the scriptures say. They got the spirit of Cain, man. They're like They like fugitives, man, for real. All right, they got the spirit of fugitives, and they always running and hiding and lying. It says even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So who are the main Satanists on the earth? All right, who are the main Satanists on the earth? You got it, man. There you go. The so-called white man, these Edomites. All right. So look, I'm gonna go ahead. Give you one more scripture and then end it on that. It's plenty more, man. It's plenty. All right. So Psalms 56. No, 64. I'm gonna go 64. Somewhere around the 5th verse. Yeah, here we go. They encourage themselves, Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? All right. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. All right. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. All right. So they search out iniquities. All right. They commune of laying snares privately. All right. Meaning traps. That's part of what they're doing right now when it comes to the scriptures, them taking out words and putting in different words that don't have meaning to deceive people. That's communing of laying snares. That's laying a snare. That's laying a trap. All right, and they do it in every world they can, in every fashionable way they can. All right, so I lied. I said that was going to be it, but Isaiah 59. I think it's 11 too. No, 49 and 11. Yeah. So Psalms 49 and 11. All right. And then I'm gonna end it on that. All right, so Psalms 49 and 11, and this is the reason why, they did what they did, taking the words out of the scriptures, lying about their nationality, lying about the world's nationality, who the world is, who the nations are, so on and so forth, learn about God and all of that. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right, uh, and that's for the most part because they want their houses to continue. So they do the evil things in the world to have an advantage, knowing if they oppress the poor righteous man, that we won't have anybody to come to our uh, redeeming. But this time they've been putting uh, they deceived themselves. The Most High has deceived them, I should say, and he's got a one up on him, man. You know, now we're at the time where it's always been a information war. You know, which brothers used to always say. It's always been an information war to pretty much drown the truth out. You know, and the time is going to come where we're going to get too. It's going to be too much for the so-called white man, and he's going to have to come down with wrath because he can't. You know, he cannot. He can't swindle us anymore. You know, he can't lie to us anymore because we have the truth. You know, so let me go ahead and get Revelations 12 and then I'll read it. All right, Revelations 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right, and that's the times we live in. Man. The times are short. He knows it. We know it, because it's been revealed more and more. And you Christians and all you other groups, all you denominational groups under the Roman Catholic Church, you're nothing more than their minions to keep their bullshit going. You know, you keep their bullshit going. All right, and with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushua, Ba'asham, Racham, Kodash, a double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. This has been Anayala with the beloved truth / GMS Stupid Simple. All right, Shalom.